What's good, guys? We're back at it with another video. As you see from the title, we have a Scoot Henderson breakdown. In this breakdown, we used two different games. The first game was his breakout game against the Stockton Kings. And after that game is when I started to see Scoot's name and on Instagram, on Twitter, I started to see the actual media get behind him. Articles. Who is Scoot Henderson? Who is this 17-year-old that's killing the G League? If you guys didn't know, this is an actual 17-year-old killing in the G League. The second game was one of his more recent games on December 5th. He wasn't as hot, but I still pulled a couple clips to show you guys. But we can't talk about Scoot or talk about me without talking about Kell High School. If you guys didn't know as well, we both went to Kell. I think his freshman year was literally the year after I graduated. But I've been watching Scoot since, all the way through the feeder program, right? So I have this specific memory of me standing upstairs, watching down on the main court. It was an 8th grade game. And I remember seeing this small kid, and he's killing. And I mean, like, he was short because obviously he's playing against 8th graders. I'm like, bro, who is that? I don't remember if he was in the 6th or the 7th grade, but he was playing up. I'm like, bro, who is that? Like, he's killing. Like, usually I know the kids in the feeder program. I'm like, who is that? They like, oh, that's CJ's little brother. CJ was my teammate at the time, who's Scoot's brother. He was nice, too. He just got hurt. I think it was knee injury, so he had to stop playing. But Scoot's always been like that, always been nice from an extremely young age. Also, we can't talk about Kell without bringing up Coach Sellers. Got to give him his flowers. This dude stayed with me. This dude's going to get the best out of you. This is one of the best high school basketball coaches in the state of Georgia. Like I've said in one of my other videos, this man was there at Kell from the jump when they weren't making the playoffs at all. To me, we started making the playoffs. To after I graduated, after my class graduated, he took that next step, Sweet 16. Next step, Elite 8. Last year with Scoot, state championship. So shout out to Coach Sellers. I have this specific memory again of him. When in practice, I think I've said it before, I didn't dunk in practice, but at the time, I don't really like dunking. I'm timid, so I'm just doing all these layups. This man stopped practice, put the ball in my chest. He stood under the rim and said, dunk on me. So I'm like, I'm confused. I kind of just put it through. Like I said, I'm timid at the time. He grabbed the ball out the net, put it back in my chest and said, no, dunk on me. So I think I had to dunk on him like 6 to 7 times before he even resumed practice. This is the type of coach he is. He's going to push you to the limit. He really going to see what he got. He introduced me to Game Elite. Obviously, Scoot ended up playing with Game Elite. We see how both of us ended up. But Scoot, like I said, we've done a breakdown a while ago. I said in that video months ago what was going to happen. This is the Kell High School, undisputed Kell High School basketball GOAT. I said months ago what was going to happen. It's coming to fruition. I'm not going to hold you guys up any longer. Scoot Henderson.
Quick teaching point on this possession. First and foremost, great job by Scoot being able to split both defenders here and get downhill. Remember what I always tell you guys about not jumping in the air without a definitive purpose? Because he did here, he was forced into a tough shot, and he also missed his teammate open on the baseline. There are times when he can have lapses on defense, and for everyone watching, never quit on a play and give up open lays. Scoot is extremely effective getting the rebound and pushing in transition, and because he is so dangerous coming downhill, he draws a lot of attention and can get his teammate wide open layups. Scoot is an extremely technical basketball player, especially for someone his age, easily getting to his spots whenever he wants and raising up. Here he is again, getting the ball off the glass and pushing in transition. Like I just said, he has no problem identifying where his spots are, taking his time to get there, raising up, and knocking it down. This is a pretty high-level possession for a 17-year-old, knowing when to bring it back out in transition and get a better shot. As you can see here, because of his quickness, he can easily get by any defender, and once he gets downhill, froze it here to let you guys see how much attention he draws. He not only had the drop-off, but also the kick to the corner for the bucket. Again, if you let Scoot get downhill with the head of steam, he has athleticism and creativity to finish over taller defenders, and that was a 7-footer. If you give him an open runway, just know it's showtime. Scoot is the mode of player who doesn't shy away from mid-range jump shots and in fact prefers it. If you let him get to that spot, even if you are there, count it. This is a part of his game that's still developing, but Scoot's ability to knock down the three-point shot is going to be big for his development in the near future, especially once he becomes draft eligible. But for now, if you give him the look, he has no problem raising up and taking the shot, make or miss. Tough. Great job here by Scoot securing the 50-50 ball, and like I said earlier, if he can't get to the rim in transition, he's looking to get to a spot, raise up, and knock it down. Because of his quickness, Scoot can easily get to the rim, and even at 17, he does a great job absorbing contact and finishing.
So Scoot, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but he also is the youngest professional American, basketball player in history. In all time, there hasn't been a younger professional basketball player in America in the history of the sport. So that's big time, especially coming out of our high school, putting our high school on the map, especially when for most of the time it's been known as a football school. But now, today, I don't care what nobody says. Kell High School is a basketball school now. I don't want to hear it, but let's really jump into Scoot's game. This man is averaging, right now, keep in mind, he doesn't start either. Playing about, I think it was 25, 26 minutes a game. He's currently averaging 20 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists on 48% shooting from the field. As a 17-year-old, I really don't think people understand what they're seeing. This is an actual 17-year-old playing against grown men, and like in the G, people might think, oh yeah, no, the G League, they don't really have no, you don't really have players. No, these are the best of the best in college. These are the actual professionals, the vets who are just looking to get another shot in the league. These are overseas pros who've been killing overseas who decide to, oh yeah, I want to come to America because I just want a shot. I just want to see if I can make it. And he's working grown men day in and day out. Let's get into his game, right? Offensively, as we all know, and like I said in the earlier breakdown, Scoot and transition, you're not stopping him. Like, I probably haven't seen a player move as fluid as he does up and down the court in a while. Like, it looks effortless, and it's almost like he's gliding, almost like he's floating up and down the court. And once Scoot gets downhill, this dude is a freak athlete. Like, obviously we only did 2 games, but in some of his other games, he's caught bodies. He's taken off from, closer to the free throw line than the rim. Like, he's taken off far with ease, and if you don't stop him, even if you do stop him, he's creative. Like you saw, he actually scored on Robert Baker, who's also from Georgia. Georgia also has, I got to say this, Georgia basketball, the best in the country, most pros, best players. Like, so, the one person that he did the little reverse on, that's Robert Baker, who's actually a footer, also from Georgia. Like, so he can score over length, score over athleticism. He does that with ease, right? So transition, that's automatic. Like, he does that extremely well. But one thing about Scoot that's different than a lot of younger players, and why I said he's technical in his game, this man is not afraid of the mid-range. And like I said, he really prefers it. Like, he prefers it. And he knows where his spots are. Like, I say it all the time when we watch some of the top players, some of the top scorers, what makes them so great is, for people who don't really know basketball and they watch the league, it might look like, oh yeah, like it looks extremely, it might look hard to you. Like, oh, they're taking all these tough shots from here, and there. They're contested. No, if you guys are really watching the game, they're getting to their spots. All the best scorers, they just know where their spots are. Scoot is like that, especially in the mid-range. He knows if I get to, these elbows, it's a bucket. It's automatic. I remember, watching this dude work out. A lot of it is mid-range. He understands that that's his bread and butter. And like, there's a quote, if you practice the mid-range enough, if it's a layup, and for Scoot, that's the truth. You saw it in transition. He can take his time. Okay, I can't get to the rim. I'm getting to it. I'm getting to my rear range pull-up. I'm coming off a pick and roll. Okay, the defender's kind of sagging a bit. Easy, pull up, knock down. I'm going all the way. Like, he's like that. He can get to the rim. He can shoot the mid-range. The one part, like I said in the breakdown, the one part that he probably needs to work on or show a little bit development in, especially as he's going to get closer to the draft, is the 3, right? So I checked the stats. I think he's shooting 2 for 13 from 3 right now. I was checking a lot of the 3s that he has been taking, though, to his credit. A lot of them are end of the shot clock, or he's taking a step back, things like that. I haven't really seen many set 3s, but, I've seen Scoot play for a while. I've seen what he did in high school last year. Like, he can shoot. He can shoot. So really at this time, I think it's more of understanding shot selection with the 3s, because like I said, he has been taking a lot of contested step backs, things like that. That not really a lot of them have been just wide open set shots that other players get. But even with all that, scoring wise, he's also averaging, like I said, 5 assists. 5 assists because he has vision, and because he's so dangerous in transition, because he's so dangerous coming downhill at you, coming off that pick and roll. If you saw almost every time that I froze it in the breakdown, he almost has every defensive player, all their eyes are on him. Every time he comes off that ball screen and he gets in the lane, everybody's looking at him, which means what? People are open all over the floor. He actually has a drop off right here on the baseline, but he sees the person in the corner, kicks it. It's a bucket. You know what I'm saying? So he has a lot of opportunity, especially like you saw when he is running in transition, when it's a 2-on-1 or that was a 2-on-2. He draws that much attention coming downhill that it's easy to just drop it off for easy layups for his teammates. He does show youth from time to time, and like I showed you, jumping in the air without really knowing where to go, or he might force a finish at the rim from time to time, but that just comes with use. Like I said, he is 17 right now. Defensively, there have been a little bit of lapses. I've actually started to see there are times when defenses might go at him. But like I said, he also is 17, so he has to learn. Like I said, with a lot of younger players, a lot of the 5-star players, you have to learn that defensive part because offense has been so easy for you. So it's easy to just focus on the offensive part. You do have to, start to learn defense, learn techniques. But all in all, he does try. He gets a 50-50 balls. He'll dive on the floor. He has hustle. It's just learning, move your feet, stay in front of players, things like that. Don't quit on plays. Never give up easy, wide open layups, ever. But all in all, like I said months ago, this kid is the second coming. This dude he's like that. Like, I can't wait to see what he does, like, especially once he gets into the league. This is a number one pick caliber talent. Hands down. I think in that draft class, they have Victor Wim. I don't even know how to say his last name. If you know, you know. I think he's like 7'3", he's foreign kid. He's like that. I think he's also in that same draft class. So they're probably going to be fighting for that number one spot. But I'm really excited to see what Scoot does when he goes to the league. Shout out Kel. Shout out Coach Sellers again. Like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Appreciate you guys watching. If you want the subscriber breakdown that gets posted on the channel, or if you want one-on-one instruction, how to improve your game, or just any advice off the court, book me on my website. Like I said, appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you next time with the next video.